Hey, hey, hey. Thanks for joining me. How's everybody doing out there? I think I'm a little too high. One second. I'll be right back. Hold on a second, you guys. Okay. I think that's better. Hey, hey, I got 9 in the room. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me. How's everybody doing? Looking good out there, even though I can't really see you, but hey, thanks for joining me on this chilly Saturday in the high 10. Hi, everybody. How you doing? Hi, Kimberly. Hello, Shanti, Heather. 11 in the room, 4 thumbs up. Please, no super chats during the lives. If you'd like to donate to the channel, you can donate to $Big Angie 129. I thank you for that. No super chats. We're not giving YouTube any money. Hello, Joelle, my good friend. How are you, honey? Thanks for joining me. I tried to get on early because I know you all, some of you go to bed early, some of you have to work. You have different shifts and things. Okay, 15 in a row. Got a lot to talk about, honey. Woo! Y'all won't let a queen get no rest. I see that now. Hey, Sparkle, how you doing? I try my best to get some rest. I can't get off this microphone for nothing. These demons won't let me sleep. Won't let a queen get no rest. Lord have mercy. No rest for the weary, I guess. 19 in the room, 12 thumbs up. I'm going to go ahead and get started. This is an open discussion. You're welcome to discuss whatever pertaining to the missing children. We can discuss all variables pertaining to these children missing. Also, I'm going to discuss the videos that have been uploaded by AV Watchmen and AV Cruise News Cruise. I will be discussing both of those videos, several videos by those gentlemen. I'm also going to read your article pertaining to the sting that was done in Bakersfield. I decided to go ahead and touch on that and see if that has any type of relation pertaining to the children missing. If you need verification for the storyline, please log on to NBCKGET.com. Sting, police rescue 16 people, make 3 arrests in human trafficking bust. This was uploaded the 22nd of January. Law enforcement uncovered a human trafficking ring close to home. It's a devastating crime that affects thousands in Kern County every year. Law enforcement descended on the Desert Star Motel in Bakersfield at about 7 a.m. this morning to break up a crime ring targeting some of the most vulnerable members of the community. Behind the flashing lights and yellow tape on Union Avenue, police find an unsettling scene. The activity this morning here at this motel is the result of a joint investigation between local, state, and federal partners into some human trafficking at this location, says Bakersfield Police Chief Greg Terry. Bakersfield Police partner with Homeland Security, FBI, deploying K-9 units and armored vehicles. Authorities say this thing is years in the making. I really want to commend members of the Bakersfield Police Department and federal agents for working the last 2 years to bring down this motel, which is in essence a modern-day brothel, said Cynthia Zimmer, Kern County District Attorney. 3 suspects are in custody, according to a press release from the Bakersfield Police Department. 43-year-old Curtis Moore of Bakersfield was arrested for felony firearm possession and participating in a street gang. The other 2 suspects face federal charges related to human trafficking. Their exact charges and identities have not been released. Officers say they also found 3 illegal firearms and confirm the January 15th arrest of Javon Lewis is related to this case. Human trafficking experts say this problem isn't new. We've been down on Union Avenue for 12 years now, says Doug Bennett, the founder of Magdalene Hope, a local organization that fights human trafficking. Our studies show there are 750 to 1,000 women that are being sold in Bakersfield over the course of a month. 750 to 1,000. Remember that. That's a big number. 8 out of 10 of them are not out there by choice, but someone is actually profiting off them. Experts say many victims of sex trafficking are too young to drive a car. The average age that a girl enters into human trafficking is 11 to 13 years old, said Bennett. Bakersfield police say the investigation into the motel is ongoing and law enforcement expects more charges in coming days. And if you need verification for the story, log on to NBCKGET.com, which is a local news affiliate in the Bakersfield area. Okay. What I want to touch on is, does this arrest of these people have anything to do with what happened to the boys? Is there somehow possibly a connection to the children? I also want to state about the hotel. How long has this been going on? This human trafficking, these issues with this hotel. Have they ever cited the owner of the hotel for problems? How many arrests have been done at this motel over the years? Because I'm sure there have been many arrests. Is this place considered a nuisance? Was it ever considered a nuisance in the city limits of Bakersfield or wherever it's located? Has anybody tried to drop a petition to have this motel closed down if it had a lot of issues, problems? Will the city of Bakersfield close this motel, and will the owner, be cited for this human trafficking, thus other mishaps at this hotel? Because that's something to think about, because a lot of these motels run in many cities, and the city don't do anything about it. They know how things go on and on and on with these motels, hotels. They hear of all the nasty little deeds that go on, the arrests, the hanging out, the loitering, but yet the city doesn't do anything. So what I like to know is who owns the motel, and how long has the motel been a problem in Bakersfield? Because that's a pivotal point. It's how long this mess been going on with this human trafficking and other misdeeds at this motel. Do these arrests have anything to do with the children? Now, next subject. Yeah, I saw all that. I'm getting ready to get to all that, you guys. Okay. We're going to start with AV News first. In one of his videos, he's talking about the children of the grandmother going to the said apartment with the children. He has a very valid point about why that is wrong. You know that your daughter and son-in-law have missing children. So why would you take them around your kids, adopted children, foster children, around them? Now, one could say, well, she doesn't think anything's wrong. That's her family. She doesn't know or think that they harmed their children. So what's the big deal? People are involved in cases of crime all the time, or alleged crimes, and people still talk to them, deal with them, blah, blah, blah. So what's wrong with that? So that was an interesting question he asked. Why would this lady, as a foster mother, be taking these kids around Trezell and Jacqueline? Is she also involved in some type of way in the hustle of hoarding children for profit? What about this landlord that manages this property? Who is the manager of this property? Do they have knowledge now that Trezell and the wife have been frequenting, living there, putting clothes there, whatsoever, taking bath showers there? What is your stake in the game? Because one could say, well, they haven't been arrested for any crimes, so it's not a crime that they go visit their family. But it is, we know, wrong, as they say in apartment living, to have guests in your home past 2 weeks without a written consent to the manager. And you can't have people staying in your apartment if they're not on your lease, if we want to just get technical with it. So there we have that. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting about the grandmother and the kids. Also, that she's a mandated reporter as being a foster parent, which is true. You see something, you say something. But let's be truthful. If you're in on this hoarding of children for profit, you're really not going to care anything about what happened to the 2 kids with your daughter and son-in-law And 9 times out of 10, you don't care about the kids that you have. So I keep telling everybody, why ask why? Because you're dealing with people naturally. This is their momentum. This is their way of living. So it doesn't really matter about anything that we're asking. We're really talking to ourselves when we ask questions. Also, AV News crew mentioned that both sides of the family have adopted or fostered children. So one would have to ask themselves, as I said, is this a family hustle? Did one person say to Pookie, I know a way for you to make some money. You can go get you some kids and foster you some kids. You got your clean background. You haven't broken the law. Hey, call the Department of Human Services and sign up for fostering children and or adopting children. I do believe these people are doing this for the money. And I know that's a terrible thing to say because I don't know the grandmother. I don't know their other relatives. But just from what I'm gathering with these two demons, their behavior, the grandmother still going around her daughter, to me, it shows to me that something's not right with any of you. And I don't think I would be dealing with my daughter and son-in-law if they had 2 children missing. And I know I haven't seen those kids. I honestly know I haven't seen those children for months. I've smelled a rat. I'm watching and hearing stuff on social media about the news interview. I've watched the news interview. I'm looking at your behavior. I'm also hearing about the videotape of you entering your van with 4 children only. I would be suspect. And it wouldn't matter if I'm your mother or not. And a decent person would say to themselves, you know, something's not right with my family. Something's not right with my daughter and her husband. And hell, I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I'm not going to just be laying in the cut, scared to say anything. I'm going to ask you, hey, where are those kids? Hey, I haven't seen them. Hey, what's going on? But that's why I feel like the immediate people that deal with Trezell and Jacqueline do know about the children being gone. And I don't know what they told them, but they know. These mothers, grandfathers, whomever, grandparents, they know something about these kids. They know that they've been gone. But what I want to know is, what did Trezell and Jacqueline tell you about where the children were? Because at some point, you'd have to ask, and you'd have to wait for the answer. And whatever answer they gave, were you satisfied with the answer? And we know you had to be satisfied with the answer because they reported the kids missing on the 21st. And what we have seen from the chief, their own words, old pictures uploaded to the missing person site and the detectives, that these people have been lying about their kids. So you are also a party to the lie because you never came forward to the authorities to say, hey, I suspect my child doing something with her children. I haven't seen the children. Very strange to me. Now on to Mr. AV Watchman. He's uploaded some very interesting material pertaining to this West family. He and some other people have gone out to this house that I think belongs to the father of Trezell West. And what I have to ask myself, when I watched that, I was lying in my bed. Hey, Marshall. I'm not trying to ignore you all, but I got to get all this out because I took notes. So with AV Watchman's video, when I was in my bed a little while ago and I was watching the video, I said, I know I'm not going to get up and go live. That's what I first told myself. I said, I'm just going to watch these videos and I'm going to relax. But after watching that, and then watching Duty Ron and AV News crew, I said, yeah, you're going to have to go live because they're going to be wondering where you're at. What do you have to say about the video? What in the hell is that mess out there in Bakersfield? Bakersfield. Look, I called it Bakersfield. You see, I'm already making up words. What is that shack out there? Wait a minute. What in the hell was out there in that fence? Where is the grass, Satan? Anybody out there? Where is the grass, Trezelle and Grandpa? You all have let this girl stop. Please don't start. I can't. Not the ice cream parlor. What in the hell it's just dirt out there. Now, everybody's not going to live the same. Before some of you jump on and start trying to tell the queen about what she's saying, this is the queen's channel, so I give my commentary. You don't like what I'm going to say, derogatory or negative about the house, remove yourself from the chat. And I'm going to leave it at that. What in the hell is that mess out there? You don't got no grass. You got these old awnings on the house from 1950, teal green, doors nasty, car parked up near the front door. Just ghetto ratchet. Just ghetto to me. Just ghetto to me. And I'm trying to understand why this house does not have any Love Shack. You're killing me. Why is there no grass? See, I always tell people the way people live tells you a lot about who they are. It tells you what they think of themselves. Just like how you carry your car around, your car tells me how you live, depending on what's inside of your car, what's inside of your trunk, okay? So your front yard has no grass. You have a small vehicle parked up near the door. Then we exit to the side and the back of the house, which I'm going to get to that part too. The neighbor let them go on the side to film. All this dirt, more dirt in the backyard, more junk in the backyard, more just buckets and a ladder going up to the roof. Where the hell is it going with the ladder? Did you just put a roof on? What the hell's going on with y'all? All these buckets. Then you got the push cart thing turned over. And it looks like, yeah, some holes or something been dug or something. Then that shack that's in the back. What the hell is that? Who built that thing? That's what I want to know. Who built that shack-a-rack back there? Honey, we're past the stage of talking about children playing in the yard. Please, y'all, stop. The yard is atrocious. The front yard is atrocious because there's no grass. If you look over at the neighbor's house to the right of watching the film, he has a little patch of green grass. So one would have to ask themselves, well, how the hell is his grass green? You have no grass. You only had a patch of grass that was sitting underneath the tail end of that little blue car that's parked up front near the door. And that lets me know you all have used the yard as a junkyard because that little patch of grass was originally some grass in the yard at one time, but you decided to use your front yard as I don't know what the hell they've been doing, but it's rambunctious. That is exactly what it was. So we have this backyard with nothing but dirt, front yard, nothing but dirt, nothing but buckets and trinkets of junk in the backyard. You don't see nothing decent like lawn chairs and a nice little table with the umbrella, things you normally see when you go to a person's house, because that's what homeowners do. They buy things according to their home. So we got this shack, this homemade shack. I got 82 in the room. Thank you so much. 42 thumbs up. No super chats, please. No super chats. I don't want YouTube taking your money. Cash App to donate. $ Big Angie 129. If you like to donate to the cause of this channel, thank you. God bless all of you. The shack is homemade. One could wonder what the hell's in the shack. I looked at that and I got real creepy vibes with the shack. I got creepy vibes with the dirt, all that bumbled up dirt. I don't know what the hell's going on with these people. Him coming out dressed like he's in the Taliban. Yeah, I'm going there. Who the hell is that? If I'm to think that person is another video that AV did with a snapshot picture of the guy, I would almost think that's Trezelle. I don't know. I could be wrong. He's coming out fumbling with the dog. I'm just confused at this whole momentum. But let me say this because I'm 20 minutes in. There is going to be a problem going out to that house. I'm just going to tell you. I wrote down my notes pertaining to this. There's going to be a problem going out there, because what you have to say to yourself, you're out here watching these people, you're yelling, you're screaming, you're hollering, you're calling them names. So now, one, whether you're on a public sidewalk or not, you can be considered a problem. Yeah, ready for war. You can be considered a problem and a nuisance by yelling and screaming at these people. Then you're also using the neighbor's house to go walk on his property to look. That could be a problem for that neighbor. And I don't think a lot of you may be realizing that this could cause problems with the neighbors, because you're letting these people come film on your property so they can get a view of the yard and yah. But once everybody leaves, what are you all going to do if Trezell or his family decides to retaliate against the guy next door? Are you staying woke? You see, a lot of you want the information. You want answers pertaining to the children. But what you're not thinking of is the ramifications for standing out there filming that house, yelling at those people. Doesn't matter that you're on the sidewalk, the street that's public, it's what you're doing. And yes, AV News and AV Watchmen have given us some things that we may not have not known about with the interviews with different people, yah. But what you have to think about is safety. Because in the end, you don't know who's watching you while you're standing out there voicing your opinions. You don't know what will happen to you, to the guy next door once you leave. They could do something to him. They could wait for him or his family, wife, or somebody to come out and be like, oh, you thought that was cute? Letting them film from your yard. So you're in cahoots with these people from YouTubers. So let me show you something. You understand what I'm saying? Who's to say they don't slip over the fence tonight? Stay woke. Because we see that this son and daughter-in-law, whomever, are not rap tight. So you don't know what they'll do. And Duty Ron made that clear in his videos earlier in the week that anything can happen dealing with these people, because they're dangerous if they kill children. So you don't know what they will do. Now, I joke a lot about Jacqueline and Trezell being punks. I say that because if you kill a child, to me, you are a punk. But I get what Duty Ron is saying. I'm not stupid. I understand what he's saying. Hey, if you kill a child, who's to say your back's up against the wall? You decide, I got to preserve myself. So I'll do something to you because I don't have nothing to lose. And you have people who think like that, especially people who already know they're in deep shit, hot water. I'm going to go out like a champ. I'm going to go down in history. So what difference would it make if he decided to go next door and do something to these people? So that's what nobody's thinking about. I understand we have the right to gather. We have the right to voice our opinions. If we think that somebody has done something facetious with some children or murdered somebody, we want to get our voices heard and say, hey, I don't like this. Hey, where's the child? Where's the woman? Where's the person? Hey, where's my daughter? Where's my son? You have that right. But what you also have to remember is when you're going over to private property, you can now become a nuisance to the neighbors. You can become a problem. And you also can get yourself hurt because you are dealing with people who have something to hide. And that's obvious. We know this. Okay. I think back to the guy at the other apartment complex that gave the interview with AV Watchmen. I would be very leery of that situation because that guy still lives at that apartment complex. And we have to think, if they're still going to that apartment, who's to say they don't wait on that guy one day? Or they get somebody to watch him, wait on him, knock on his door, pretend to be the candy lady, ice cream man. Do you understand where I'm going? See, you got to stay woke out here. I can joke about these people all day because I'm in East Tennessee. And I can say I'm not worried about them doing anything to me or whatever. I'm just a random YouTuber talking about various news articles and other content coming from other YouTubers. But in the end, those people out there going to these houses and apartments and interviewing these people, they're there on the ground. They can be found. Do you understand what I'm saying? They can be followed home. They can be Googled if their government names have been given. And you have people out here who are not stable, and they will follow your ass. They will Google you. They'll try to get your IP address. They will hunt you down. And they may not have nothing to do with the crime or related to Giselle and Jacqueline. They may not be friends of them. They may not be nothing to them. They may be just some warriors that want to get crunk and fight a battle that is not their own. And this is why you have to be careful when you immerse yourself in trying to be a right fighter and get the word out about what you think somebody has done wrong. But I will say the information that they have brought forth in this past month has been very interesting. And that's not to take anything from them. I want to let that be known in my commentary before anybody misunderstands what my point is. The information they have brought forth, AV Watchman and AV News Crew, is interesting information. But the flip side of the information is that you can tread into something you can't get out of if one of these cuckoo birds decide they want to go ham and cause you a problem and bodily harm. And that's my message today, is that everybody, yes, needs to be careful. Going to these houses filming, sitting in cars filming, yelling stuff back at these people. You really need to be careful because you don't know who they're affiliated with. And if this is deeper than just two crazy people got mad at some babies and beat them to death and buried them, if it's deeper than that, hell, who knows who might want to pay you a visit? That's all I'm saying. Okay. I've touched on everything about this house. I wouldn't take a dog there. I wouldn't have a dog at that address. I wouldn't take a child to that address. I wouldn't be at that address because the queen don't rock like that. And I'm telling you, you don't have no grass in your yard. You got nothing but clay dirt from the front to the back of your property. I can only imagine what the inside looks like. Yeah, the queen is saying that. Who the hell are these people? Why haven't they been out here helping to find the children? So AV News Crew has made a valid point, and Mr. Watchman, that it's odd that these people are not helping. The parents are not helping. That's first and foremost. It's very suspicious. But as I keep telling everybody, you need not ask why, because they have already let you know day one in the interview, they are not invested in the children. And yes, you all can stop putting those adoptive names on the titles of your YouTube videos, because those names, Orn and whatever, I can't even remember them. Those are not their names. Valid point, Mr. AV News Crew. Not their names. Call them by the names that their mother gave them, even though whatever happened with her and the rights, that Orn, those names, I'm tired of hearing those names. I'm tired of looking at their names on the YouTube videos. I'm sick of that. But this is a crazy case, and we're 1 month in, and you don't know what to think. You don't know if they sold the children, if it's related to human trafficking, if it was an issue that they just got tired of the children, didn't want to deal with the kids anymore, they sold them, or they gave them legal adoption to another couple or person. Did they give them to a pedophile? Excuse me. You don't know, and we don't have all the information. But one thing I will say with these guys on the ground following them, that 9 times out of 10, it's probably going to lead to something. And when one of them made a comment about following the lady in the van that was in that white van, and he noticed her in a van leaving late night, if you think there's something suspicious with her, I mean, it would be up to you to follow her. It might lead to something. It might lead to something, following her around. But that's the thing. Have mercy on where it will lead you. Because these are I know there's something funky going on with these people. There's something going on. There's something going on. But then the flip side could be, what if there's nothing been going on? What if we all have overreacted and it's not what we think? That they're just some kooky, weird people. Somebody came and took their kids. But I know better. Something is not right. And those kids have been gone for months. I believe that. They've been gone a while. You all had mentioned to me in the something about a birthday party, children not being seen since September at a party or something. I don't know what's the truth to that. As I stated yesterday in my live or early this morning live, once again, if you see something, say something. Why are you mentioning it now? Whoever that source is of that information. Why are you just now wanting to say something the month of January 2021? Oh, I hadn't seen them. Oh, I had a party. Pookie had a party. We didn't see those kids. Well, when was it another time you didn't see the children? All this is insane to me. I've got a lot of comments, and I don't mean to ignore any of you. I got 109 in the room, 60 thumbs up. Thank you so much for joining me on this wonderful Saturday evening in the high 10. This is probably the craziest story I have come across. And I've brought you 2 other stories in the past week pertaining to adoptive children, foster children. And we now have a dead child in South Carolina who was murdered by her adoptive mother and father. And God rest your soul, Miss Victoria, because they beat that baby to death. And then 2 Black children were kidnapped out of New York, Greece, New York, early in the week. And they were found in Montgomery, Alabama, safe. Amen. And their father is believed to be a suspect in the kidnapping of those 2 children. And he is alleging that he has witnessed his children being abused in foster care, and his rights were taken from him dishonorably for allegations of abuse to his children. So I don't know what's the truth about that. I tied those stories into this message today because there's something going on with all this foster care, adoptive business. But as I state, you don't know what to believe in anything because you're not a witness to nothing. And as they always say, there's 3 sides to a story. This is his side, her side, and the truth. And where it gets funky and muddy is listening to 2 versions go back and forth. Who said, she said, I did this, no, I didn't. You did this, you know you said that. I didn't mean that, no. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't know what to believe. And people tend to side with people who they are close to. That's a known fact. If you come to me and tell me you did right by your children and the state took your kids, why would I think different if I know of you and I never suspected you or seen you, heard you abuse your kids? So I could say, well, I've never seen that. I've never heard that. But then the flip side of that is a lot of things go on that you don't see and hear. And we know that from watching the news. You didn't know that the guy that lives over here by himself is a pedophile and he partakes in kiddie porn and luring little boys or young boys to his home to pat and fondle them and rape them. You don't know that because who's going to tell you that? He's not going to tell you that. That's my point, is you don't know people. And that's all I'm going to say. If you want to call in to my IG account and weigh in on the human traffic story out of Bakersfield, excuse me. I'm buffering, Lord. Lord have mercy. Here we go. Okay, Marshall. I don't know what's going on with this screen. Lord, what is the deal? What is going on?